Dilip, start karo. Good morning, one and all. I am Dr. Tejavati Gudipoti. Welcome you all for the today's webinar organized by VASM Group of Studies Gwalior. The VASM Group of Studies is continuously organizing a series of webinars. Today's speaker in the series is Dr. Suresh Singh Yadav. He is a young active scientist presently working as a postdoctoral fellow at Weizmann's Institute of Science, Israel. On the onset, I would like to thank the VSM Group of Studies Chairman, Dr. Sunil K. Rathore, Chairperson Madam Saroj Rathore Ma'am, and Group Director, Dr. Pragya Singh, for giving me this opportunity to coordinate this webinar. Today, Dr. Suresh Singh Yadav will be delivering lecture on cell signaling in cancer. We all know that cancer is one of the major diseases we all are facing in the world. Before we start the seminar, I would like to introduce our speaker, Dr. Suresh Singh Yadav. He did his UG and his PG in biotechnology from Jaunpur, and later he qualified his GATE exam in 2018 and joined his PhD at Benares Hindu University. He was awarded PhD in cancer biology in 2014, and thereafter he joined Jawaharlal Nehru University as a postdoctoral fellow and worked from 2015 to 2018. Thereafter, he went to Weizmann's Institute of Science, Israel, and working till date as a postdoctoral fellow in cancer biology. And he's working on a number of genes and various aspects of cancer biology. Dr. Suresh was awarded various academic fellowships, including National Postdoctoral Fellowship in 2017, Dr. D.S. Kothari Postdoctoral Fellowship in 2015, and he was even awarded CSR JRF in 2009 for his PhD work. He has published a number of papers in reputed national and international journals. With this short introduction, I request Dr. Suresh Singh Yadav to deliver his lecture on cell signaling in cancer. Sir, I would like to use both the languages, Hindi and English, so that all my students can understand very well. And now I request to pick up Dr. Suresh Singh.
Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction, for the nice introduction and very detailed. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving me opportunity to present something about cancer in this platform. And hello, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the cell signaling in cancer. Hope you are able to see the slide.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Abhini. Yes. Yes, sir. Now we can.
Okay, so let us start with the cell signaling.
Yes. Sir.
So cell signaling in cancer, it is a very broad topic, almost like ocean. So we cannot cover everything in one lecture, but I will be talking a little bit about this. So to start the cell signaling in a cell, we should start with the ligand and receptor interaction. In the start of signaling, ligand from the extracellular space bind with this receptor that is in the plasma membrane, and then this signal get transferred to the finally in the nucleus through the different cascade of proteins. There the processing of signal also happen. So finally it will reach to the nucleus. The nucleus is the capital of cells. You can say the capital of cells, like New Delhi is the capital of India. So all the information that is happening outside here will be captured with the receptor. It will be sensed and it will be transferred to the nucleus in the capital, where the information will be processed and the action will be taken. So this is nucleus. Nucleus is the center of the cells, capital of the cells, like New Delhi. So you know what we have here outside the cells. No need to say about that. So whatever information will come from here, it will be processed in New Delhi and it will be necessary action will be taken. So similarly, the cell will also behave like in the processing of cells. So coming to the next slide. So first I would like to say a few words about the cell signaling. Very common, we may have heard several times the cell signaling. Signaling cells is the cells that the building block of our body. So this is also called the cell signal transduction, the transduction of signal from one place to other. So if I will define the cell signaling, it is a biological mechanism which gives cells an ability to receive and generate the signal in response to their surrounding environment. Whatever is happening in the surrounding environment, that will be received by the cell in the form of signal, and the cell also generate the signal that will be received by the other neighboring cells or other kind of cells in the surroundings. So this is the signaling. So basic concept of signaling. So signaling will be in the respect to the body, our development of body, cell communication. There is two kind of communication is possible. First is cell to cell communication. That one cell interact with the other cell with the receptor. These cells have receptor, these cells have receptor, and both can generate the signaling molecules. This will generate this signaling molecule and this will generate this signaling molecules. Okay, so this signaling molecule will go and bind with the receptor this, and the signaling molecule that is generated by these cells will bind with the receptor in these cells. So the communication is both sides, one cell from the other side cells, other cell will communicate with this first cell. So this communication is in both the side. And second, the cell also can communicate with the extracellular environment. Extracellular environment that we also call the cell microenvironment. So one cell communicate with the other cell that you can see here, and these cells also can communicate with their environment. Whatever happening in environment, that will be received by these cells. So this is called the communication of the cell with the cell microenvironment. This microenvironment has several proteins, several secretory molecules, mainly the immune cells that is come in contact with the cells. What is happening here?
Any problem?
Something is going on there, I think.
Which side, okay. Sir?
Some noise, I heard some noise. Okay, no problem, it's okay now. Okay, so coming to the next slide. So this is the steps of the signal that I showed in the first slide. Step of signal transduction and cellular response. So first, the ligand, that is the signaling molecules. Mostly it is the chemicals or proteins molecules. First, it will bind to the receptor. That is most probably in the most of cases it is in the plasma membrane. And this ligand bind with receptor, then the signal will be transmitted to the downstream, that is made up of several proteins, and these proteins and enzymes, this will process the signal and transmit to the other downstream signal cascade. This cascade is just interaction of different proteins, enzymes, to transfer the signal from one step to different step, next step. Finally the signal will be processed and it will be delivered to the nucleus, where it will affect the transcription of gene in response to the signal. So this will make the change in cell. this will produce the several proteins, expression of genes and several proteins, inhibitor, stimulator, several things to change some physiological and morphological changes in the cells that you can see in the form of morphology. So finally, after this, there will be, you can see the phenotypic changes because of this transcription, because of the protein that you that express in response to the signal. So there will be some changes. Some of them I listed here, like differentiation. Differentiation is just a maturation process. Cells will be mature after getting the signal, and after maturation it will be defined, it will be for the specific kind of function, and then there may change some growth of the cells, there will be some change in the cell division, inhibition, and those things, and it may be migration of cells from one space to the other space, and addition, one of the very essential phenomenon. Cell will be attached to the basement, to the other cells or for the substratum. This is the phenomenon of the normal cells. It will, except the cell that is in suspension, all the cells are attached to the substratum and to the each other. So if there is loss of addition, it is the property of some abnormalities, most probably in the case of the cancer. So this will be also important phenomenon in the development of cancer. And last but not least is the apoptosis. You may have heard several times about the apoptosis. Apoptosis can be named as the programmed cell death. It means this process is programmed. It is programmed means cells चाहती है कि apoptosis हो तो apoptosis होगी, अगर चाहते हैं कि apoptosis ना हो तो apoptosis नहीं होगी. This is the program. The cell have the program for the apoptosis, then apoptosis will happen. If they don't want to apoptosis, it will not happen. So it is very programmed, very regulated process. So this is going to play a very important role in the cancer that I will discuss later also. So hope you will understand this. I will be talking in Hindi also a little bit whenever the needed. So okay, so coming to the topic cancer. What is cancer? There is several different definition of cancer, but here I quoted one of them that is given by the Professor Gordon McVie, and they define that cancer is disease of genes. Disease of genes means there are several genes involved in this disease. Genes means the DNA sequence, then finally it will be converted to the protein, so finally it is protein. So cancer is a disease of genes which causes cell to grow out of control. Means cells is going to divide and divide without any control. If your body want to not to divide, they don't have control on these cells. So it will be divide without any control, just divide and grow. So this is the definition of cancer that you can say. There are several definitions, but several things is going on also. It is also called that the cancer is the group of disease, not a single disease, that we can discuss later. Okay, so there are several things that can happen in case of cancer. Like this is a disease of aberrant signaling processing. As I discussed in previous slide, the signals will be received by the cell, then it will be processed, and then it will be delivered to the center of the cell, that is the nucleus. So there will be some aberrant signaling in case of cancer. So this will cause to cancer because the signaling that should be the normal is aberrant somehow because of some external factors, some internal factors. It get aberrant. So it converts the normal cell to the cancer. So you can say that signaling is aberrant in cancer cell. Okay. Next, it is triggered by the buildup of errors, several errors in the DNA of the cells. You know the DNA. DNA is the information, all the information of the cell is in DNA, genetic material. So in case of cancer, there are several error after error is accumulated in the DNA. and that lead to the cancer. So after aberrant signaling, basically because of this error in DNA, the signaling is aberrant. Okay, so after build-up of so much error in DNA become fragile, and it become more prone to have error to life due to lifestyle, age, and genetic factor. It means once DNA have some mutation, some aberration in DNA, so it become more prone to have more mistakes in DNA. So I will explain here just जैसे कोई एक म्यूटेशन एक डीएनए में हो गया, वो सेल को और प्रोन कर देती है कि और ज्यादा उसमें म्यूटेशन एक्यूमुलेट होने लगता है। और ये बेसिकली होता है लाइफस्टाइल। हमारी लाइफस्टाइल क्या है, हमारे एनवायरनमेंट में क्या है, हम क्या कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, and it is directly related to the age, in which age you are. Mostly in the late age, this happen more prominently in the late age, and several genetic factors are also involved to make these errors. Okay, so each cells in our body have potential to transform into cancer cell. It's a statement, big statement that may you have heard before or not, but each cell in our body have a certain amount of potential to get converted into cancer cells if they have some carcinogen or some such kind of environment. So have potential, although our body have the defense mechanism to fight with that. So that's why we don't have so much cancer, but still not less. So yes, each cells have the potential to transform into cancer. So it can spread throughout the body. So cancer, if it is started in one place of the body, it has potential to get spread throughout the body. This is called metastasis, movement of cancer cell from one place to other place. That is called metastasis. So that is also a big, a very complicated mechanism. Several things is going on in that, but in one sentence, it is the just spread of cancer cell from one space to other, one organ to other. Okay, so let us summarize the difference between the normal cell and cancer cells. What are the difference that normal cell have and cancer cell don't have, or cancer cell have, normal cell don't have? So first, genomic stability. I told you before also in previous slide that normal cells don't have any instability in the genome. That is, everything is fine, everything is going well. So genome is intact. But in cancer cell, there is instability, a lot of instability. There are several mutation, deletion, duplication, and so cancer cell genome is unstable. Second, growth and cell division. In the normal cells, cell division is always controlled with the certain mechanism, and it is limited. It is after some time cell have to stop dividing because of instruction of our body, our system. So have to stop, and when the signal will come to stop the division, it will stop. This is the property of normal cells. But in cancer cells, it is uncontrolled. Body cannot control the division of cancer cells. So it will, once it is started dividing, it will divide and divide. So it is divide uncontrolled way without any control, and it is unlimited. It will not stop. If body want to stop it, it will not stop. It will divide and divide. So this is the very, very common difference between the normal cell and cancer cells that everybody know. Okay, so communication. How the normal cell communicate? Normal cell always in communication with the neighboring cells and the microenvironment. Microenvironment, the environment around the cells that is created by our body, our system in the body. So cell will be surrounded by the several other cells. It will be surrounded by the some blood cells, some other secretory molecules. So this normal cell have capability to communicate with these cells. and the environment, they can communicate in the very healthy way. And this communication in both ways. Cell will communicate with the microenvironment and microenvironment communicate with the cells. But in case of cancer, this communication is aberrant. There is no control of communication. Actually, the cancer cell hijack the communication system. It communicates according to itself, not according to the body of our body. What body want, they don't care. They communicate according to their plan. They stop dividing. They will fight with our army, that is the immune cells. Army means the army of our body, that is the immune cells. Don't confuse the army and the border. So this communication is aberrant. So this is the difference between the normal cell and cancer cell. So next the cell death, that is the apoptosis that I mentioned before. So this apoptosis is the normal phenomenon. In the normal cells, cell will die due to the apoptosis, and this death of the cells is programmed. Our body want to die this cell, then cell will die. So after some time, when cell complete their lifespan, the cell will die. This is the program of our cells. So this is called apoptosis. But in case of cancer cell, there is no apoptosis. They will grow, they will divide, they will do anything in the cells. Our program of the body, that is apoptosis, not apply to this cancer cells. So there is no apoptosis. Okay, contact inhibition. This is the one phenomenon in the normal body development. That's when cell come in closer, there is a contact, there is a sufficient amount of pressure on the wall, so it will stop dividing. So normal cell follow this phenomena, contact inhibition. But in cancer cell, they don't follow. They divide, and one by one, they can continuously they are dividing. So they can divide and divide. So they don't follow the contact inhibition. Even they make a pile of cells one by one. So this is the difference between the normal and cancer cell. That is the contact inhibition. And the maturation, that is another difference. That is in the language of scientific language, we call the differentiation. In normal cells, the differentiation happens. The cell, after some time, cell get maturity, and it is specified for the specific function means differentiated cell have a specific function. But in cancer, there is undifferentiated cells. These are the undifferentiated. They don't differentiate. They don't have a specific function. Although there is kind of discussion about this term. Some people say this is poorly differentiated. Some people say this is undifferentiated. Some people say this is de-differentiated. So there may be some discussion about this differentiation, but I believe it is undifferentiated cells. They don't have a specific function. They own their own rule. They have their own way to divide and to grow. And next, the energy source. Energy source, the normal cells have the energy source from glycolysis and Krebs cycles. You have heard about this in the school. So I'm not going to talk about much this. So the glycolysis and Krebs cycle is the energy source of normal cells. But in cancer cell, it is slightly different. They more rely on glycolysis. All the energy for cancer cells is coming from the glycolysis. And glycolysis is generating less energy compared to this both cycle. So they will need more glucose and more resources for the energy. This is called Warburg effect. In book you have read it several times. Next, blood supply. Angiogenesis. Once tissue grow, to survive it, they should have the blood supply. So for blood supplies, we have normal mechanism that is called angiogenesis. So with the angiogenesis, the cell will be supplied with the blood vessels. There will be new vessel formation. So blood will go to the cells, each and every cells. They will get the nutrient from there. So this is very, very normal in the case of normal cells. And angiogenesis means the formation of new blood vessels occurs only when it is needed. Means when there is some injury or there is some development in organs, so they need angiogenesis, then the angiogenesis will happen. But in cancer cells, it's happen all time. Tissue is dividing, growing, and spreading. So in that case, where tissue is growing, there is the need of energy, need of nutrients. So angiogenesis is very active there. There is always angiogenesis happening. So more blood will go there, and cell will survive very happily. So cell is happy, but we are not happy with cancer. Okay, so now coming to the hallmarks of cancer. So this is very common term. You may have heard several times, hallmark of cancer. So there is, initially it was 6, but now total 10 hallmark of cancer. I will tell you one by one. It is listed here. All the hallmarks of cancer. I also wrote it here. So first one is sustained proliferative signaling. The cells have a constant signal to proliferate. ये हमेशा डिवाइड होते रहेगा इनको सिग्नल डिवीजन का सिग्नल इनको मिलते रहेगा, हमेशा डिवाइड करते रहेगी, ये इनका हॉलमार्क है. Evading growth suppressor. If our cell is producing some suppressor to stop the growth, so they avoid that. They don't follow that. They don't consider that. So this is second. And resisting the cell death. They don't want to die, obviously. And genomic instability, that I mentioned in previous slide also. Genomic instability and mutations, several mutations, genomic instability is there. Angiogenesis, also I mentioned it, activating the invasion metastasis and deregulating the cellular energetics. They hijack the energetics of cells. I'm a little slow, I think. Okay, so avoiding immune destruction. They have capability to fight with our immune cells, and they also destroy that immune cells in the body. And they also induce the tumor promoting inflammation. This is newly added in this list. So they induce the inflammation, and inflammation is one of the initial steps to develop cancer, and they enabling the replicative immortality. So enabling, okay, this is the 10. So, and till now we have inhibitor of all these 10 hallmarks of cancers, specific inhibitor for all the hallmarks. But still, this is in the research in progress. Still, we don't have some cure of cancer. So, coming to the signaling pathway, that is mostly in cancer. So there is several signaling pathways like mitogen activated protein kinases, MAP kinases, GPCR signaling, PI3K, mTOR, TGF-beta signaling, AMPK signaling, hedgehog signaling, JAK-STAT, Wnt beta-caryopsin, Notch signaling, and NF-kappa beta. This is the list. There are several others. All are named with their type of mechanism or gene involved. So this is the signaling that's mostly discussed in this case of cancer, but there are several other also. So I'm not expert in all these, but I will discuss a little bit more about the mitogen activated protein kinase, that is MAP kinase signaling. If you want to see all the signaling together in one cell, this will be complicated. This is the simplest. It will be much more complicated than that I show you here. So no need to go in much detail in this. So coming to the MAP kinase signaling. So MAP kinase signaling is the signaling where the EGF, this is the signaling molecule, you can say, it bind with the EGFR receptor. As the signaling molecule bind with the EGF receptor, it get activated. If it is get activated, it recruits several other proteins like GRB, SOS, and finally it activates the very important gene, a protein, that is RAS. You may have heard about this RAS. When RAS is activated, So this SOS replace the GDP with GTP, so this will be activated. Once it is activated, it activates several downstream signaling cascades. Once downstream signaling cascade is activated, this ERK is a MAP kinase, one of MAP kinase, it get translocated to the nucleus. Once it is translocated to the nucleus, it transcribes several proteins that induce the cell proliferation. But this ERK has several cytoplasmic substrate also. So in my research, I'm working on this signaling and some other protein also. So I'm more interested how this ERK and some other proteins in this signaling and some other signaling are getting translocated to the nucleus and what they are doing there. So that is my research interest. So once ERK is translocated to the nucleus, it stay there for a minute to hour and do their job in there to proliferate the cells. And you can see here in this video that this white color is ERK. So this ERK, first it is in the cytoplasm, when it is going to the nucleus, after some time again it come back to the cytoplasm. So there are several substrate of ERK. Some are cytoplasmic, some are nuclear. So the nuclear ERK induces proliferation and the cytoplasmic ERK induces the differentiation. So how these proteins are get translocated to the nucleus, that is my interest in research. So there is some classical mechanism how the protein is getting translocated to the nucleus. There is some protein that hold that protein and getting it to the nucleus. So that protein is named as importins. Importins means it is import the protein from the cytoplasm to the nucleus. So here as the cargo, this is the protein that need to translocate. ये वो प्रोटीन है जो कि न्यूक्लियस में जाना चाहती है. तो इस प्रोटीन के पास एक सिग्नल होता है NLS, न्यूक्लियर लोकलाइजेशन सिग्नल. ये सिग्नल इस प्रोटीन में होता है. जैसे ये सिग्नल को रिकॉग्नाइज करता है, ये इंपोर्टिन बीटा ये उससे बाइंड कर जाता है. जैसे इससे बाइंड करेगा, ये दोनों कॉम्प्लेक्स बाइंड करेगा, ये फिर जो है न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन में ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा. So this whole complex get translocated to the nucleus. And once it is in nucleus, this importin जो चैपरान था, जो इसको लेके अंदर गया था, ये बाहर आ जाएगा. But the protein that need to be in the nucleus, it will be here in the nucleus and it will bind with the DNA and transcribe some other proteins. Okay, so there is several protein that translocated to the nucleus from the cytoplasm to nucleus that have this signal. But there are several proteins that don't have this signal. So how that protein get translocated to the nucleus? बहुत सारी प्रोटीन ऐसी हैं जिनमें ये सिग्नल होता ही नहीं है. So कैसे वो प्रोटीन कैसे ट्रांसफर होती है न्यूक्लियस में, कौन उसको ले जाता है, ये मेरा इंटरेस्ट है रिसर्च का, that I'm doing now. So for that we have slightly different, that our lab had discovered slightly different mechanism to translocate into the nucleus. So here, like in the case of ERK is bind with some anchor protein. So once it is stimulated, there is some stimulation, some signal come. So ये एंकर so उससे छूट के बाहर आ जाता है, बाहर निकल जाता है. और ये जो एक काइनेज होता है MEK12, वो इसको फास्फोरिलेट कर देता है, इसके कुछ जगह पर फास्फोरस ऐड कर देता है. सो जब ये फास्फोरस ऐड करता है तो ये एक्टिव हो जाता है. जब एक्टिव हो जाता है तो ये जो है एक और उसमें फास्फोरिलेशन होता है, यहाँ पे SPS फास्फोरिलेशन होता है. जब दोनों फास्फोरिलेशन हो जाता है, ये एक्टिव हो जाता है और ये यहाँ पे फास्फोरिलेशन हो जाता है, तो ये अलाउ करता है कि इंपोर्टिन इससे आके बाइंड कर जाए. तो यहाँ पे ये इंपोर्टिन बाइंड कर जाता है, इंपोर्टिन 7. दिस इज द प्रोटीन, द प्रिंसिपल प्रोटीन दैट आई एम वर्किंग ऑन. सो ये प्रोटीन जाके उससे बाइंड कर जाता है और फिर इसको लेकर के अंदर लेके चला जाएगा. सो होल स्टेप इज बाइंडिंग विद दिस, then activation, then binding with importin, then it get transferred to the nucleus. Now this is the SPS that is different from the classical mechanism. The protein that have the NLS bind with some other signal, but the protein that have this signal, will bind with importin or importin like protein. So this protein, ये protein जो इनको लेके अंदर जाता है, जो कि जिसमें कि एनालस नहीं होता है, उसके लिए एक अलग तरह की प्रोटीन होती है, एक अलग तरह की क्लास ऑफ प्रोटीन होती है, जिनको हम लोग बोलते हैं बीटा लाइक इम्पोर्टेंस. सो ये बीटा लाइक इम्पोर्टेंस ऐसे प्रोटीन से इंटरेक्ट करती है और उसको लेकर के न्यूक्लियस में जाती है, और इनका मैकेनिज्म स्लाइटली डिफरेंट होता है बाकी मैकेनिज्म से. Okay, hope I am able to make you understand. So here is the mechanism how when work is transferred to the nucleus. There is two conditions. One, maybe the transient activation for short time. Then it will go to the nucleus. It will transcribe a protein CFOS, and then it get degraded. So if transient signaling, it will be degraded. There will be no signaling. It will be stopped. But if there is sustained signaling, stimulation for long time, so things will be reversed. So this will be transcribed, and it will be again phosphorylated by this ERK. So it will be able to survive, and it will induce the cell proliferation. So cell will go to the proliferation. Okay, there are several other mechanisms like P53, JNK, and ERK5 that we are working here. So here is the mechanism for all this ERK that I discussed you. Our lab have designed or discovered a peptide that can inhibit this interaction, so that ERK will not go to the nucleus. So this, if ERK is not going to the nucleus, it will inhibit the proliferation of cells. So, and similarly in case of P38 also, so we have another peptide also here to inhibit this. This is the research of our previous lab members. They did very great job, and so now still we are working on this to check the cancer progression. And similarly, the ERK5 also have the similar mechanism. So yeah, I don't have much time, so let's go ahead. Okay, so all this signaling are for the cell survival, cell proliferation, cell division. But there should be some balance. So our cells have a different mechanism also to kill the cell, to stop the cell division. So what are that? So very briefly, I would say there is two pathway, that is intrinsic, and another one is extrinsic pathway. So very common that may you have read about in book. So here very shortly, the DNA damage induced by the some factor. There will be some lesion, some breakage in DNA, that is called DNA damage. So P53 will be activated. If P53 is activated, it will activate the several other proteins like BAC and BAX, and this BAC and BAX make pores inside the mitochondria. And once mitochondria is porous, the cytochrome will get out from the mitochondria, and it will induce another complex, that is apoptosome, where the pro-caspase-9 will be activated to the caspase-9, and then caspase-9 will be converted to the caspase-3. So this caspase-3 is inducing the apoptosis, the cell death. How it do? It do with the degradation of DNA in the nucleus. Some proteins will also they are secreted by the cells that will inhibit some degrade some proteins. Nuclear bubbling will be there because DNA is fragmented. So finally the apoptosis will happen. So this is the program of the cells. Similar to the extrinsic pathway, from here the signal come from the outside of the cells. Some ligand bind with this receptor, then signal is transmitted to downstream, and here in this case caspase-8, another caspase, here is the caspase-9, here caspase-8 is activated. Finally it activates the same signaling mechanism for the apoptosis. Okay, so I discussed a little bit about here the P53. So P53 is very important molecules, very important protein, and it is mostly mutated in the cancer. Around 50% of tumors have the mutation in this P53 gene. So we called it master regulator of cell death and cell survival. So if P53 is mutant, if there is mutation, generally it is missense mutation. So this mutant will cause the carcinogenesis. Oncogenesis means it will cause the cancer. So very simply, if अगर p53 mutated है यहाँ पे, तो वो कैंसर को प्रमोट करेगा. बट अगर वाइल्ड टाइप है, अगर वो उसमें कोई म्यूटेशन नहीं है, वो फुल्ली फंक्शनल है, तो वो सेल को एपोप्टोसिस में ले जाएगा. अगर देयर इज सम डीएनए डैमेज, सम सेलुलर स्ट्रेस, सम काइंड ऑफ डिस्टर्बेंस इन सेल, सो ए p53 उसको एपोप्टोसिस तरफ ले जाएगा कि ये सेल में गड़बड़ी है, अब इसको मरना चाहिए. तो ये सेल एपोप्टोसिस में जाएगा, जो कि प्रोग्राम्ड है. और दूसरा ये होता है कि उसको करेक्ट करने की कोशिश करता है, रिपेयर मैकेनिज्म उसमें आती है और सेल सर्वाइव करने लगती है. तो सेल मेक द बैलेंस व्हेन इट शुड डाई, व्हेन इट शुड divide, and there p53 play a very crucial function. So that's why we call the p53 is standing at crossroad between the cell survival and cell death. So very important protein p53. So okay, so right now I have discussed about the signaling about the cell proliferation and cell death. So let us discuss about the journey of cells. So the student who are not from the background of core biology, they can focus on this slide so that they can understand how the cancer cell progress throughout our life. So see, this is the cells that at birth we have cells, very good cells. When the child is in the mother womb, they have no problem. They are equipped with all the ब्रह्मास्त्र. कोई दिक्कत उनको नहीं है, वो सेफ है. पर सारी प्रॉब्लम शुरू होती है जब बर्थ के बाद, जब वो इस दुनिया में आते हैं. तो सपोज दिस इज द सेल्स दैट वी कैन से द क्विसेंस सेल्स स्टेज. सो एवरीथिंग इज ओके. देन cell will divide, will grow, and finally at the old age, the cells will go to the cellular senescence. This is the stage of cells where the cell are arrest. They cannot divide. They cannot. If body want to make it divide, very less capability to divide it. So that is called cellular senescence. So during this journey, some cells get apoptosis also. Like if they have finished their lifespan, so body want to eliminate them. So that cell will go to the apoptosis. It will be eliminated from the body. The very good example is skin cells that always it renew. So this is apoptosis. Okay, so several other things happen in this journey. I will let you know. So first, the normal one, during this journey, as you grow, cell will divide, organs will grow. And this is the normal process, cell growth, cell division, and replacement with new cell. This is very normal process that will get in during our life from the birth to the old age. But if there is some oncogeneous stimulus, there is some environmental factor that do some mistakes in our cells, like viruses, ultraviolet rays, some growth factors, some other lifestyle, because of we are consuming some things, so that will cause something to our cells. So that cell will be transformed to the cancer cells. If the cell is transformed to the cancer cells, so these cells will divide and grow. It will make a disease. So we cannot do here anything, because apoptosis is not working here. The body cannot stop them. So we go to the doctor. So if we are going to the doctors, so doctors are giving the chemotherapy, the most appreciated medicine nowadays from the beginning, and today also. Doctors start giving the either you can remove this tumors if it is localized. You detected in a very early stage. It is in the organ that can be removed. You can remove it, or it will go for the chemotherapy. So doctor will give the chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, what do generally? Especially it will generate DNA damage. So there will be some DNA damage, and this DNA damage is especially in the dividing cells, the cells that divide very fast. So it will be in that. So this chemotherapy will induce the DNA damage, and because of this DNA damage, the apoptosis pathway will be activated. So these cells will go to the apoptosis and cell death. But the problem is some cells during this chemotherapy, because of several drugs and those things, this chemotherapy, because of this chemotherapy, some cancer cell develop resistance. They start not responding to chemotherapy. So few cells will be live still even after chemotherapy. So that create very problem. After some time, it will reoccur. It will start growing again. So this is the problem nowadays with the cancer treatment, that is resistance. And obviously this chemotherapy is affecting some normal cells also in the body, because it's only can difference the dividing and non-dividing. Sometimes normal cell also dividing, so they have very severe side effects. Sometimes patient die because of side effects. Okay, so this is the journey of cancer cell. Very briefly, this is still under preparation. I'm working on this to publish and those things. Okay, so this is a review. There is nothing the new information. All is very old information in this picture. Okay, so next question, especially for the people, मैं किसी पर्सन जो कि नॉन साइंटिफिक बैकग्राउंड से उनसे मिलता हूँ, तो उनको बताता हूँ कि मैं कैंसर में काम कर रहा हूँ, तो उनका पहला क्वेश्चन ये होता है कि तो कैंसर ट्रीट हो जाएगा, ट्रीट हुआ कि नहीं. तो ये फॉर देम वेरी इनोसेंट पीपल, सो फॉर देम I can say only the hope and hope. We are in hope that someday we will come back. The cancer disease, a lot of things have been done in this. We have tremendous amount of success that you can see here. This is the graph that shows the how many patients in this disease. Cancer is the second with the 9.56 million people. So the cancer is not first. See, the cardiovascular disease is the first, even almost double of the cancer. And this is other diseases and those things. And see, very smart people, they put terrorism in the list of disease. Okay, so here, see how in one graph I can show you the what is the success of cancer treatment till date. So see, this line is the total patient death, the people who are dying with the year starting from 1990 to 2016. It is increasing, but see the death rate, cancer death rate is decreasing tremendously. It is decreasing. This show that the scientific community and doctors have some level of success in the cancer treatment. So hope it will go to the we will find the final solution for cancer. Okay, so in the last decades, I'm almost completed. So in the last few decades, there is some advances in cancer treatment and cancer signaling that I would like to list here. One of them is precision medicine. This is कुछ आप बोल सकते हो प्रिसीजन मेडिसिन कुछ एडवांसेज है, जैसे कि आप पेशेंट स्पेसिफिक ट्रीटमेंट आप कर सकते हो. डिजीज कैसी है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप डिजाइन कर सकते हो स्पेसिफिक. पहले था कि एक ही मेडिसिन सब हर किसी को दे रहे हैं, तो इसमें डेवलपमेंट है जो कि इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ प्रिसीजन मेडिसिन in the last 10 years. Second, we know that the cancer can spread with help of neighbors. Neighbors means not our neighbors. Don't be confused. Neighbors of cells, the cancer cells and the neighboring cells. So always neighboring cells, cancer cell communicate somehow that the neighboring cell start helping the cancer cell to grow. So this concept is still a lot of things is going on in this, how the neighboring cells is supporting the cancer, and how the cancer cell hijack the neighboring cells, our normal cells, to make spread. So this is still going on. And the third, the most important things happen in last 10 years is the two type of immunotherapy have been developed, that is CAR T cell. You may have heard about this. CAR T cell therapy, CAR T cell, they designed a receptor, T cell receptor, that have capability to bind with the antigen and also activate the T cells. So it is a chimeric protein. So it will bind with the antigen, cancer antigen, and it will also activate the T cells. So T cell will be more equipped, will be more specific to fight with the cancer cells. This is the very good, excellent discovery in the field of cancer. Still research is going on this. And second, several inhibitors have been identified that then can target the immune checkpoints. And another, the very important things that we should consider, the microbiomes. Our body has several bacteria in our intestine and several other parts of body. They have very good, bacteria is always not the harmful. Bacteria is the very good for our health also. So that is called microbiome of our body. And they have very good communication with the cancer cells in the sense that they can combat the cancer. So cancer cell utilize those things to divide. So this is a target that we can manipulate our microbiome to combat the cancer, to treat the cancer, to kill the cancer cells. So this is very exciting topic nowadays to work with. And there is one other important thing, that DNA mutation are not the only cause of cancer. Several times we said that, oh, there is some mutation, because of mutation in DNA duplication, some nucleotide is deleted, so cancer happened. But nowadays there is some other concept, that is epigenetics. So epigenetics is quite new term for you, for the audience, not for all, but for the audience who are in the school or in the BSc. So little bit it is new. So I will discuss that epigenetics is like a movie. We are preparing the movie. There will be one script. There will be one director. There will be one actor. So here in this case, actor is protein, and script is our DNA. All the information is in DNA. Epigenetics is director. So it can modify the script. They will not change in script, but they can modify a little bit to make movie good or sometimes bad. So this epigenetics is doing some modification in DNA, so that they can induce some other signaling. So because of this epigenetics, without changing in DNA, because of this epigenetic modification also contributing to the cancer. So nowadays scientific community is also focusing on those aspects, how it is regulating. So if I will define scientifically the epigenetics. So this is the modification in DNA without change in nucleotide sequence. So okay, this is director of this movie. So I will conclude. I am going out of time. So I will conclude that the communication is bidirectional, and in cancer, cell divide uncontrolled manner, and several genetic pathways that are deregulated in cancer. MAC kinase signaling I discussed with you. Same protein mediate the nuclear translocation of proteins, and that I'm working on that. Scientific community showed tremendous success in the last 10 years, and still going on. This is our group that we are working here in Weizmann Institute of Science. And in the last, I would like to say that stay safe because of this pandemic, maintain the social distancing, and find a smart way of signaling so that you can signal from the distance to maintain the social distances. Thank you very much for your presence and listening me.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I have a small question.
Yes, ma'am.
Nowadays, people are getting awareness, and they are going for molecular detection of the serum. Some of the genes they detect. It is a cancerous or non-cancerous. Some of the molecules are detected. So with that, is there any relation between the cure, how many people are getting cured more as compared to earlier one.
This is a just advancement of detection of cancer, how we can detect it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cancer cell is secreting several things in the tumor microenvironment in the cells. It will go to the serum. So that marker, that proteins will be in the serum, so we can detect it. So that
Yeah, yeah.
as early you can detect it, you can start the medication. The most complicated thing is with the cancer, we cannot detect in the very early stage. If you can detect it in the very early stage, so you can start, you can remove it if it is operable, or you can start medication so that you can check it in the very beginning stage. There is several stages of cancer. So for that point of view, this will be obviously will be very helpful, very smart idea to
Yeah.
reach at that.
Uh, we can send an awareness in the people that after 40 plus or so, along with other blood tests, you should go for the marker of cancer marker test also.
Yes,
If you
yeah,
add
definitely.
that,
Yeah,
it will prevent, we can detect at the first stage so that
yes,
you can save the people and
yes,
control
yes, yes.
the
Very,
uh,
yeah,
uh,
very
the apathy of the
important
person
point.
as well as family, right, sir?
Yes,
So
yes, exactly. Very important point that you mentioned. Everybody who is listening should be aware with this. If you have any doubt, any kind of things, you should go to the clinic. There is set of markers that they will
yeah,
check, and they will say that you have any sign of cancer cells in your blood. So they will tell you about that. And I would like to add one thing, that in case of cervical cancer especially, it's happened in the female uh, cervical cancer. So if you detect a cervical cancer, so sometimes people get worried. So right now should not be worried, because cervical cancer is the almost it's, you can treat it after some
yeah,
time. Chemotherapy and radiation therapy is very successful in this, and also you have option to operate it.
mm,
So should go regular checkup. If you have any sign of cancer or irregularities, you should go for checkup. Very simple checkup, and you should go for that. And it's you can go very. I have several examples that people visited the doctors and they are well now, very good. They are,
yeah.
they are surviving even in the age of 30 and 35.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Suresh Singh Yadav, for
Most
your
welcome. Thank you.
enlightening, and it is a basic to the students also, and more information you have given in your topic, that is uh, cell signaling in cancer. I hope our students are have understood, and I thank once again VSM Group of Studies chairman, chairperson, and director for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all, and very good day.